Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Happy Thursday. You'll find out in a second that I thought today was Tuesday. More on that later. 9:03, 32 degrees. But who's counting? CJ Nasello, it's our daily show. We got a great one for you. Joining us in a couple of minutes, Dr. Megan Hill. She is the superintendent of the St. Louis Language Immersion School. We're going to learn more about National Foreign Language Week. That's going to be a great conversation. I can't wait to learn a little bit more about what they're doing. They're a public charter school, and we'll get to learn more about their work in St. Louis. Then at 10:10, we're talking to Craig Heaton, and we're talking to Corinne O'Brien. Mississippi River Water Trail received some really cool recognition just a couple of days ago, and a couple of weeks ago, and I'm really excited to fill you in on all of that and more. And then at 10:30, we're talking to Mayor Mike McCormick as we are creeping closer and closer to April the 1st. The consolidated election right around the corner. Mayor McCormick joins us to fill us in on his platform, his vision for Godfrey if reelected mayor, and the work that he has already been doing. So all those conversations come down the pipeline, but at 9:05, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Angela Cooper, a 47-year-old former office manager from Collinsville, was sentenced to 51 months in federal prison for embezzling over $158,000 and committing identity theft while employed at AMK Heating and Cooling. Following her guilty plea to multiple charges, including wire fraud and tax fraud, Cooper was also ordered to pay restitution of $168,536.12 and will serve 3 years of supervised release post-incarceration. During her 2 years at the company, she fraudulently wrote more than 100 checks to herself and extended her fraudulent activities to a coworker by misusing personal information to secure a credit card. One of the most talked about stories in the region is Diaria Williams and Nicholas Warford from Edwardsville, indicted on February the 26th for allegedly defrauding school meal programs designed for low-income children in Missouri. Here's what we know on this. They operated a nonprofit and were arrested on the 4th of March. The indictment claims from March 2020 to July 2022, they misrepresented serving over 2.2 million meals through federal programs, while little to no actual food services were provided. Investigators seized assets including a $1.4 million home, luxury vehicles purchased with what they claimed to be misappropriated funds. Both defendants planned to plead not guilty, with charges highlighting the severe misuse of taxpayer dollars. We'll keep you updated as more details roll out. The Wood River City Council is set to host a special meeting on March the 6th at 5 p.m., that's tonight, to vote on an amendment regarding the requirements for calling special meetings. Currently, the mayor or 2 council members can initiate a meeting, but the proposed change would raise that threshold to 3 members. This proposal comes just days after Councilman David Ayers requested a special meeting to discuss the potential firing of City Manager Steve Palin. If approved, the amendment would limit council members' ability to call meetings without additional support, impacting ongoing discussions about city governance. We'll keep you updated as more details do announce and more. And that meeting will be carried live on RiverBender.com at 5 p.m. Finally, in the news this morning, high winds on March the 5th led to power line malfunctions in Glen Carbon and Edwardsville, leaving around 1,800 without electricity. The incident occurred around 9:55 a.m. when winds caused power knows not to go out during my show. When winds caused power line issues in Glen Carbon, it did affect around 1,600 customers there, around 200 in Edwardsville affected as well. Brian Bretsch, the spokesperson for Ameren, Illinois, reported that crews swiftly identified the problem and secured the area despite the strong winds. Thanks to their effort, power was restored to all affected customers by 10:20, just 25 minutes after the outage began. And that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this morning. Let's take a look at your weather. It's 31 degrees and it feels like 31 out there. Air quality at moderate. Whew. I don't think so. Man, allergies are rough today. Temperatures reach 47 degrees and drop down to 36 overnight as we head into Friday. Friday, we do have a chance of rain throughout the day, partly sunny skies. A high of 56 on Friday and a low of 26 degrees as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, the 8th of March, a high of 53, a low of 28 degrees. On Sunday, sunny skies, a high of 61, a low of 34 degrees. And on Monday, a high of 70 and a low of 43 degrees. I am out of breath. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now, my friends. It's 9:10 in the heart of the 618. It's 31, and it feels like it out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545. This time powered, I love saying it that way. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com/weather or downloading our app today. Hey, while I have you, I got my book back, but I do not need it just yet because anytime I get to talk about Centerstone, well, it just kind of rolls off the tongue. You know why? Because Centerstone truly is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. And with the commitment of saving lives, Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs. This means the recovery care plan is developed for you, tailor-made, if you will, based on the latest science. Listen, we all know of somebody or have heard of somebody that might be having a tough path right now. And it's not a matter of, getting them in right away. But, when that situation turns to the moment that it's time to make that decision, it's good to know of the options that are available through our partnership at Centerstone. Centerstone has so many locations around the country, and they have them throughout the state with so many wonderful programs, their crisis intervention teams, their MAT services, so much more that we'll be learning about this year. I'm so excited to have them back. But if you or a loved one are struggling with substance use disorder, I highly encourage you to go to recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org, or you can go to centerstone.org to learn more. You can also call their number right now, 1-877-HOPE-123. That's 1-877-HOPE-123, and get the help that you or your loved one need today, or just the knowledge truly of just the amazing work that this group does. At 9:12, we'll take a quick break. More Daily Show with the St. Louis Language Immersion School right after this as we celebrate National Foreign Language Week. But first, let's take a look at downtown Alton, and we'll come back with more Daily Show. 32 degrees. We're almost above freezing. How about that?
I can define love, make it go. My soul will have to.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Brant Walker knows how to get results for Alton because he's done it. As Mayor Brant froze the property tax levy and balanced the budget, his economic development policy stimulated $116 million in private capital investment. Community policing and increased resources for public safety led to a decrease in crime. And under Brant Walker's leadership, Alton secured more than $10 million in extra grant funds for infrastructure and park improvements. Move Alton forward with Brant Walker.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I promise you I've done this for 7 years. Welcome back to Our Daily Show on this Thursday morning. And no, I did not just forget what day of the week it was. We're getting through this together. Dr. Megan Hill is the superintendent of the St. Louis Language Immersion School. March 2nd through the 8th is National Foreign Language Week. And really, no better time to talk about this and no better person to talk about this than with you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, you know, there's so many benefits, I would assume, Megan, and just from my experience with this, of knowing and learning a second language, you know, better career options, brain function improvements, and all these really great connection points. And, you know, right off the bat, as we are celebrate National Foreign Language Week, what are your thoughts just with your role? And then what's the best way to recognize it?
Sure. So again, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. I'm the superintendent of the St. Louis Language Immersion School, and as we celebrate National Foreign Language Week, we want to celebrate our learners at SLLIS. We're a public charter school, pre-K through 8th grade. We have 3 language immersion programs in French, Spanish, and Chinese, and our students are learning every day in a dual language structure. How to become bilingual and biliterate in those languages. So we are definitely the right folks to talk to as we celebrate this exciting time of year. And as you said, our mission is to make sure that our students emerge bilingual, biliterate. We serve students in the city of St. Louis, a really diverse student population. We have staff from 18 different countries who are bilingual teachers in our classrooms every day working with our kids. And so we're celebrating them too. And really the international focus that our school brings to the city of St. Louis and offers as an excellent academic choice for families.
Well, and Megan too, or Dr. Hill, what have you seen in your role just as superintendent, you know, as the students develop and really just the culture that's been created at SLLIS?
Sure. So I think first and foremost, the second language learning, seeing students and I'm in classrooms a lot of times throughout the week, seeing students interact with their teachers in our target languages, seeing our teachers work really hard to implement our dual language model to support students in their learning and to make sure they're successful. And I think one of the most exciting things when you have a staff in St. Louis City in a public charter school from 18 different countries is the cultural exchange and the
Right.
international awareness that this really brings to our learners in our school. We could take the Spanish program, for example. We have staff from multiple places in the world serving kids in that program. And so, in one year, a student might have a teacher who's from Mexico, the next year, a teacher from Puerto Rico, the next year from Colombia. And so they're really getting not just the Spanish language, but a lot of input in terms of cultural awareness, learning about the traditions and the culture that their teacher celebrates with them every day. And that's really the one of the most exciting parts, I think, of the experience at our school.
Well, and really, that's a priceless experience too. And on top of that, it seems like, and just from my very brief knowledge of a second language with dialects, it seems like too there's different countries that have different dialects of a certain language, just like maybe we do with the English language. So to get that different viewpoint from other countries, I think is very important for the overall growth of your students.
Definitely. And our students are getting that in all three of our
Wow.
programs when they have a new teacher each year. And so I'm a speaker of French and Spanish myself. And so
I'm jealous.
I know for certain how much it can differ even within one country sometimes, the dialect and the accent change. And so getting exposed to that and having a new teacher each year who brings the language but also brings a new perspective is, like you said, it's priceless.
How have you seen your students benefit, from this, second, of this, immersion language program, really, and just, from start to finish, or just from, maybe a couple of times that you've seen their progression? What have you just seen from their takeaways, and then what they've been able to achieve?
Sure. So some of them start as early as pre-K. We have
Whoa.
a Spanish pre-K classroom. We're adding a Chinese pre-K classroom next year, and then a French pre-K classroom the year after that.
That's
We got a grant
awesome.
for that. Many of them start in kindergarten or first, though, and they progress through our grade levels all the way to 8th grade. When our students graduate in 8th grade, they receive the Pathway to Biliteracy Award from the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. It comes with their graduation certificate, and we proudly offer that to our students every year, every single one of our graduates, because they are emerging bilingual and biliterate from our school. We've recently started an alumni program at our school as well. We were founded in 2009, so our alums are pretty young still. Our oldest alums are still most of them are still finishing college, but we have brought them back into the school for visits. We have gathered them and really heard a lot from them about what they're doing with their language skills. And we hear amazing things. They're going to incredible colleges and universities. I just spoke to an alum who came back for an event last month who's at Washington University. And
Wow.
he's going into research in the field in science. He's a native Spanish speaker and he's fluent in French, and he knows he can leverage those skills that he learned in our school. Along with that, I think the cultural awareness and a broader understanding of the world to be really effective and be really an asset to his field. So we're really proud of him and all of our alums at SLLIS.
Well, and you just, I mean, just to get a follow up on that last part of it, and those are the opportunities that are really provided with this. I mean, the more languages I mean, the more pathways that you completely open up, because, I keep kicking myself in high school for not taking my foreign language class seriously enough to really progress on it. And now I have to, start on over. But when you're going just as maybe a visitor to other countries, how much more that helps you, your friends or your family, whoever you're traveling with. But on the business side, with technology and all the new ways that we can connect, why not learn it? I mean, it should just be one of those things people do.
I completely agree. That's the mission of the school. And I think, I hear people say that all the time, that they wish they would have been able to become more proficient, or that they learned something in middle or high school, but they forgot it all, or
Yep.
they found it really challenging by the time they got to high school to learn that second language, and they wish they would have had access earlier. And it is true that our youngest learners, especially from pre-K to 3rd grade, they're picking up the language so quickly. They're using it in our school to learn science and social studies. One of our teachers in the French program I was actually in her classroom yesterday, and she is making sure that her students are using French to learn science every day and holding them accountable to that. And they're just in first grade. So it's really incredible what they can do at such a young age and how much they can learn and how quickly they can learn.
Well, and just a quick question on that too. Whenever you start a language, does it make learning other languages sometimes easier? You know, if you pick up a Spanish, or some of the tones similar, some of the ways that you communicate a little bit similar, does it become easier to learn maybe a third or fourth after that second?
Definitely. And I would say French and Spanish are closely related as Romance languages. Once you learn one, the next one is a lot easier to master. I can actually speak from experience on that. But really, and you know, Chinese, for example, is much further removed from English, fewer cognates, not the same alphabet, obviously. That's a lot more challenging. But once you learn one language, the research shows that you're going to pick up the second one even faster, no matter what language it is, and the third and the fourth, because you become more astute at learning a second language and using it. And I would probably argue you become a little more courageous in your ability to use the language and test your skills in real life situations. That can be a hard thing to do. And it's another reason we're so proud of our students, because it requires a lot of confidence, and a lot of,
That's a good
honestly,
point.
a lot of failure, a lot of
Yeah.
accepting that you're not going to be right all the time and you're going to learn.
That's just a great point. And you know, Dr. Hill, how are you guys over there celebrating National Foreign Language Week? Are there some days that you're throwing out there? Are there an event that we can be a part of, or that you guys are celebrating at the schools?
Sure. So this week, we're really celebrating our classrooms and our teachers, thanking them for all their work they're doing with our students. I actually am preparing something to go out to staff today to celebrate their successes this year. Thank them for how hard they're working on our dual language model, and also just thank them for representing their languages and their cultures in our school. We also celebrate in the month of March. It's Francophone month. So it's about cultures that speak French across the globe.
Oh, wow.
It's related to this week, but it's a couple weeks away. We usually do a celebration of all the cultures in our school that are French speaking, not just France. I know a lot of people think of France when they hear the French language, but we have teachers from Haiti and from Senegal, and we want to celebrate that. So later this month, we'll be celebrating that. And we have celebrations like that all throughout the year that are truly unique to our school. So one of our values is to celebrate mission moments, big and small, and that's one of them. So we've got the Francophone celebration annually. We do a big celebration for Hispanic Heritage Month, and of course, we just had the Chinese New Year. So there's something really special and different almost every month at our school, thanks to our international focus.
On the French side of things too, I just a quick question, just one that I thought of at the top of my head, which always gets me in trouble. But with the St. Louis history being as rich as it is, you know, with the French culture, have you been able to have your students gain a little bit bigger insights into historical, you know, significance of that? Because, you know, there's times that I read, you know, things about St. Louis and I just can't put the two and two together because there's a language disconnect for me there. And I didn't know if that helped your students at all, or if you've seen that takeaway.
Sure. We've supported our students in learning about that throughout, you know, over the years, and connecting with local resources. We're interested in doing more of that, because that's one of the reasons that we're so proud of our French immersion program, is
That's
that
cool.
The French connection for St. Louis, the Creole connection, and so wanting to make sure that our students and our staff are well connected locally. And St. Louis is the perfect place to do that.
That's awesome. See, normally those off the top questions get me in trouble, Dr. Hill. So I'm glad this this one didn't. But you know, as we're you know, just keeping this conversation going and coming to a close here in a few minutes, what would you like the region to know about SLLIS, and how do you guys obtain your funding? Because I know that you know, that's always you know, a challenge in in education for private schools. I don't know how that works for charter, or what the that difference is, but I'd be more than curious to hear about that.
Sure. So we are a public charter school in Missouri. So we are operating in the district boundaries of the St. Louis Public Schools, as charter schools must, as required by state law in Missouri. Our funding comes mainly from the state. So we do receive federal, state, and local funds. predominantly, I'd say 80% come from the state foundation formula in Missouri
Oh,
for
okay.
public
Yeah.
students in Missouri. So that's based on your total attendance and also on your student population, any specific populations that you serve. And then there's a formula for that, and we are funded mainly by the state of Missouri. So we're a public school. Because we receive that public funding, and by the way, the federal funding too,
Yeah.
for the title programs and things like that, we are accountable to every requirement that every public school in the state of Missouri must follow. So we're accountable to that. We are in compliance with all the state and federal laws surrounding how to operate a public school. And that's a big part of my job, is to make sure that we're adhering to all that and that we're implementing our model and leveraging those financial resources in appropriate ways to meet our goals.
Well, I'm glad. It's just fascinating to know a little bit more about the structure of it too. And Dr. Hill, what are you most proud of in your role? Is it seeing the students grow? Is it seeing the teachers connect? If you could pinpoint, one or two things that really make you proud of what the program and what the school is all about, I'd be more than happy to share that with our audience today too.
Sure. So I would say first and foremost, our students and their growth. Our students have grown an incredible amount in reading specifically this year.
That's awesome.
We're performing in our reading growth better than 95% of schools in the country in terms of
Wow.
how quickly our students are progressing in reading. We're very
That's
proud of that.
awesome.
That's a recent point of pride, I think, for all of us at SLLIS. Incredibly proud of our diverse and committed community. That includes staff, but also the families that we serve who come back year over year, and new families too who come in the door to learn. And then I think the last thing I would say is we're really proud to be located in the city of St. Louis. We're actually right next to Energizer Park in the City Commons neighborhood, and we are extremely proud to bring an international focus to our city, to bring staff from all over the world, and to be a hub for global language learning in our city.
And what have there been conversations? We just talked about a tiny bit about what you'd like to do with future programs. What are the goals, if you had to share, if you could share a little bit with us, what SLLIS would like to do, to increase their impact, not only in the city, but maybe even a blueprint model and a model just for other, charters and other locations to follow?
Sure, that's a great question. I think right now we have a 5-year strategic plan.
Good.
We're actually about to write a new one. We're in year 4, so
Wow.
we're gearing up for that. That strategic plan has had a very strong academic focus, and making sure that our students are growing. Our most recent data show that we're doing a really good job with that. We also have a heavy early childhood focus in our current strategic plan. Hence the addition of the pre-K classrooms, and we've sort of moved with the state of Missouri in terms of funding that we can actually access for pre-K programs. So we're thrilled to be able to launch those classrooms and start our language learners even earlier. That's been a big focus of our strategic plan. And then we also have a middle school program that we've been focusing on a lot in the past 5 years, and making sure that our middle school program is a strong and rigorous extension of the language learning that happens in pre-K to 5. So those have been our really what we've been strongly focused on in the past 4 or 5 years. Looking ahead to our next strategic plan, I think continuing to strengthen those programs, continuing to raise awareness. One of our goals has also been raising awareness about our school.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunities like this are great because
Hey, you're doing a great job. I was about ready to say you're off to a good
Thank
start.
you. But marketing for one, to make sure people know who are eligible, know they can enroll, but also the community should know that we're here and what we do and how unique our model is. And so we want to make those connections with community partners, and with organizations across St. Louis City and County and the metro area in general, to make sure that people know we're here and that we want to connect, and that we have an international hub right down the street. So
Well, and that brings me to my final point, crystal ball moment there for you, Dr. Hill. How can we get involved? How can, listeners or viewers on this show that are watching, in St. Charles or in the city or wherever they're tuning in from today, or even over here, how can we get involved? How can we partner up and just keep shining a spotlight on this?
That is a great question. Thanks for asking.
I got two good questions in a row, Dr. Hill. How about that?
I would say first, the first way to get involved is just stay tuned and keep follow us on social media, check out our website, take a look at what's going on in our school, and celebrate with us a little bit. We would love to have community volunteers. We have a volunteer program. You can actually complete a form on our website if you'd like to volunteer in our school.
Wow.
Community partnerships are huge. Other nonprofits, we have a few key community partners we work with every day. We'd love to have more. We're always looking for real world experiences, field trips, connections for our students at every grade level. And so any opportunity there is something we'd love to explore too. We want to make sure our students can get out of the doors of the school, be in the community, and connect with language and other cultural resources that the St. Louis area has to offer. So all those are great ways to connect with us.
Absolutely. And Dr. Hill, thank you so much for stopping by. You're more than welcome back anytime to fill us in on more of the great work SLLIS is doing. I think it's incredible. And thank you so much for showcasing National Foreign Language Week with us right here in downtown Alton today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problem. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com and take a quick break on this Thursday morning. Now that I know what day of the week it is, more Daily Show right after this in the heart of the 618.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing?
We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy, there ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree.
9:37, a little bit of change on this. Got a darn like fuzzy in my nose. It's driving me crazy. 9:37, a little bit of change. Oh my goodness, what is in my darn nose? It's like I got one of those, like, I blew my nose and I got a piece of tissue paper or something. They're driving me nuts. Hey, while I have you, before we move this show down the road a little bit, let me give you an update. So here's our updated candidate interview list for the Alton mayoral. Mayor David Goins will be joining us. Former Mayor Brant Walker will be joining us as well. For the Alton alderperson races, Ward 4, Rosie Brown will be joining us tomorrow on Friday, actually. Ward 2, Carolyn McAfee, the incumbent, joins us next week. Martha Pfister joins us as well. For the Godfrey mayoral, all candidates slated to join us on the show, Mayor McCormick, Trustee Lombardi, and Beth Johns, I keep doing that. They're all going to join us in the next couple of weeks as well. For the mayoral, and in Wood River, Mayor Tom Stallcup will be joining us in a couple of days. So for the mayoral side of things, it's going to be really cool to have these kind of hour-long conversations that really aren't pointed. I just want to have an open conversation and talk about platforms, visions, and showcase that information to all of you for you to decide who you think would be the best fit for you. And then for the alder people and trustee races, which some of those trustee races are being filled out now. I'll have an update for you later. They're going to be about a half hour, 25 minutes or so. And really kind of that same format where it's not really a direct question and answer like where were you last Tuesday, but just a conversation about where their thoughts are as we're less than a month away from the consolidated election. So those conversations come down the pipeline. I told you I'd keep you updated. Really excited to have almost all of the mayoral candidates slated to come on the show, and really just excited to relay that information to all of you and just to have that conversation with you. So wanted to fill you in on that before we move down the pipeline today. That's the latest on the candidate interviews. Now, on the flip side of that, kind of not. I just needed a transitionary term. I wanted to give a big shout out to the Alton Godfrey Rotary. I did a couple weeks ago, but I didn't really officially say thank you so much for letting me come and be a part of your presentation. It was during all the hoopla with it was the committee of the whole meeting that night too, but to see so many people coming out and letting me fill you in a little bit about who I am and my background, it was really cool. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of that and being a part of such a cherished Rotary Club too. So really thankful for that opportunity. Then also wanted to thank Sacred Spaces of Care for letting me be a part of their Q&A panel discussion with Chief Jarrett Ford and with Jacob, who was on the show with Megan. We had a great conversation, great questions, great crowd, and really just a great documentary. If you have a chance to take a look at it, see it on Sacred Spaces of Care's Facebook page. They have a link. You can click and watch it. Really good stuff. And just once again, a thank you to them. Real quick, a bit of an update. This was kind of in Godfrey, a bigger news story, and that's after almost an hour of debate, Godfrey Village Board approved the rezoning of property on West Delmar to allow Peachy Paws Daycare and Grooming Salon to expand into a new location. The ordinance on Tuesday night's agenda called for the changing the zoning classification of 1610 West Delmar from R3 single-family residential to B4 highway business. Now, opposing the plan were a group of local neighbors on this, including 3 women from a nearby condo association who expressed concerns about feces being left around the area and noise from dogs barking throughout the day and night. Trustees and members of the public made impassioned arguments for and against the rezoning during one of the lengthiest, the most crowded village board meetings in what Dalton Brown's calling in recent history. As multiple neighbors pointed out, the property in question has fallen into a state of disrepair over the past 10 years, and Peachy Paw's owner, Amber Dyer, who plans to invest about $500,000, into renovating the building, spoke about her vision for the new space while attempting to ease concerns of area neighbors. Here's what she had to say. I've maxed out the space in my current location and requesting rezoning of the old daycare on Delmar to expand my business and better meet the needs of the community. My business is more of a small boutique type feel rather than a big corporate chain company. Dyer said the daycare service would operate during standard business hours with some training sessions on weekends, but absolutely no overnights at all. She emphasized that this would not be a large kennel-like facility, but an environment for small groups of dogs to engage in focused training and playing sessions. When most people think of doggy daycare, they think of 30 dogs running around at once, and that will not be the case for my daycare, she explained. My daycare will focus on the enrichment of small groups and private play for dogs. This means only small groups of dogs will be playing at once and will be supervised the entire time. My business also has a very, very strict cleaning procedure, so there will not be animal waste around the property. That's the end of that quote. Some critics supported Dyer's plan to renovate the derelict West Delmar building, but questioned the location of that dog daycare within the residential neighborhood instead of somewhere outside of town. One resident said having the facility would actually be more convenient for dog owners and would help foster relationships within the community. Yet another group was less concerned with the current business plan rather than the other potential businesses that could open there in the future under that new zoning classification. Dyer agreed with some community members who mentioned it would be highly unlikely for a business owner to suddenly abandon a $500,000 investment, citing concerns with future business moving under the new zoning. Trustee Weber sought to refer the item back to the village's building and zoning department, but that motion failed on a 2-4 vote, with him and Trustee Rick Lauschke casting the 2 votes in support. Trustees then unanimously approved the zoning change, setting the plans for Peachy Paw's expansion on West Delmar officially in motion. Several meeting attendees erupted into applause upon the passage. You can see that full discussion online at RiverBender.com/video under the government tab. It's 9:43. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with more Daily Show. Wanted to fill you in on a couple of 3 things. God, that's one of my favorite lines. But while I have you, you know, the weather's warming up, okay? And what I'm meaning by this is very simple. The excuses are gone, pal. Okay, you know what I'm talking about here? I have driven some neighborhoods recently, and you got to get that junk out of there. It is so bad. And I'm not trying to be mean, but, you know, I get it. We always say when that weather warms up, we're going to go out there and we're going to, you know, change the world being cleaning up our backyard and getting all that junk removed from it. Or maybe it's a basement and you can't even have people over to your house right now because of how bad it looks. What you need to do is call Denise Sparks. I mean, for 30 years, she's been the queen of junk removal, and now she's the queen of trash pickup too. But my point is, listen, the weather's warming up. You're going to keep making excuses because I do the same darn thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we always say, oh man, when that first 75-degree day comes, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to get this done. And then all of a sudden you're at Johnson's Corner with a couple of Coors Lights and you're calling it a good day. You know what I'm saying? I do it. That's me. That's a personal experience. That's why I call Denise Sparks. That's why I'm telling you to call Denise Sparks. You know, at 781-1407, you'll see just why she has been in business for so long, and they can remove almost everything. I mean, from appliances to furniture, light demolitions to construction debris. She handles it all from commercial to residential, and what I think is really cool is if you're like me and you don't have a semi-truck or a trailer to move all your junk to the landfill, well then why don't you just put it on your curb and have Denise Sparks come over and pick it up for you with her curbside junk removal services. It's just that simple. You know, there's a reason that there's these purple and yellow trash cans that are kind of mating like bunny rabbits. You know, we got like 8,000 of them around 618. It's because people are switching to Sparks Junk Removal and Hauling for the trash pickup too. Weekly trash pickup. And really just a small business, a locally owned business, and somebody who truly cares about the environment too. I mean, there's not any trash flying off of her trucks. You hear her and Rusty talking about it all the time. I highly encourage you to go to SparksJunkRemovalAndHauling.net and reclaim your space with the Queen of Junk today.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to our...
We also feature...
Alton Godfrey Business Council. Ah, dang it. I'll fix that in a second. Ray Morales, I didn't get council in there. You see what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just business. This is North Alton Godfrey business.
Right.
That's all we're talking right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ray, how is Rolling Hills?
It's doing good. Doing good. Getting back in the swing of things after a long, hard winter we had. But we opened up last Tuesday, so starting to go good.
I wanted to, I didn't ask you about that whenever we were just chatting it before the segment started. How'd you guys manage that 8 inches of snow? What do you guys have to do whenever you get that much? Does it kill the grass? Or you have to worry about that, or?
No, we just kind of keep an eye on it. We keep everything clean, the parking lot and the sidewalks and everything in case people want to come out. But then we just watch it, and sometimes it'll affect the grass different ways, but we just deal with it as it happens.
How did that tournament go in January?
Yeah, it went good. I think we had about 30 teams, and
no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it was a good turnout. We had a good turnout for the open house, and
good.
So yeah.
How did you said Friday you had how many people?
We had close to 150 people come out Friday.
So no work got done in Alton on Friday. A majority of the work.
Yeah, a lot of people saw the weather and called off, and so they were going to play hooky.
I'm not going to lie. Mike and I took off to deliver Buzz magazines, and I was ready to go the moment I got back into this office.
It was beautiful out. It was nice.
And I spent it inside watching TV.
Yeah.
No. But, it's the perfect time to talk Rolling Hills. The weather's starting to warm up. People are ready to get back out there. Today you might not have as much success out on the greens, but tomorrow and Thursday, you never know.
Right.
What are you guys doing right now to prep for the warmer months?
Just kind of getting everything ready. We're going to start hiring. We're putting word out that we are hiring.
Seasonal staff?
Pretty much everybody for the summertime, yeah. And all positions. We're also looking for assistant superintendent, someone to help us with the grounds.
Wow.
So if anyone's interested in that, they can reach us at the clubhouse.
What background do you need on that?
Just a little bit, maybe, not really much, but we're looking for someone who has a little bit of knowledge and then wants to learn more. And
That's
stuff
cool.
Like that. Yeah.
What a good opportunity.
There's a lot to it. I'm still learning a lot about that, and that's why I kind of got in this business with learn that aspect of it. The golf side, I pretty much can handle, but it's really interesting once our superintendent, Sam Mall, he does a great job out there, and he's been doing it for 25 years.
Wow.
So, he's got all the license and everything when it comes down to the chemicals and the fertilizer. And there's a lot of stuff you need to know. And if you do it right, then you're going to put out a good product.
That's really cool. So they just call up to the office?
Yeah, they can call out to the golf course and talk to me. We'll set something up. They can come in and we'll see how it goes.
Get you hired today. How about that? That'd be really cool.
Anybody's looking for a job.
Well, and too for high school students out there for the summer jobs, man, there's nothing better. It's a great, relaxing job. You get to meet a lot of cool people.
Right, and you're outside.
Yeah.
And, it's a fun environment. Also, we're looking for the volunteers, the retired people that just want to come out, maybe be a starter or a marshal, come out, work.
That'd be fun.
One day a week. Most of them now do that. They volunteer and they just get free golf, so they get to come out and play free golf. I mean,
that's a trade,
right? Yeah,
that's a trade.
I wish I had something like that, years ago.
Did you guys remove the swimming pool so you don't have any caddies messing around this summer?
Right? Yeah. There'll be no shenanigans.
But how many marshals are you? Just a handful, or anybody that's interested right now?
Anybody that's interested. We're looking mainly for Saturday and Sunday help. It'd be just one day a week, about 6 hours a day. And then we just ask that you come in and help with a couple of the tournaments that we have on the weekends. And once again, that's usually 4 to 6 hours, so it's nothing too
and you're
strenuous
relaxing,
or anything.
watching
and you're
somebody,
outside just having fun,
watching somebody just put one right into the woods, you know?
Yeah.
I always get nervous when there's a starter by me. It's like, I couldn't do the PGA, Ray. I'm just going to be honest. I can't do this under pressure.
It's a little nerve-wracking. I know that amateur tour I play on, the first time I played on it, when you get up to the tee, they announce your name.
Oh.
And the first time I just remember just being so scared. It's like, oh man, I just hope I just don't shank one here, But
can you call me my opponent's name?
Right, yeah. When and I think that's normal for a lot of people when they play golf.
Yeah.
Especially if the course is crowded and you're up there on first tee and you got people behind you waiting.
Oh, don't even.
And everybody's just watching you, and. It's a little nerve-wracking at times.
I'm a gambler, Ray, and exactly what I do if I got the people behind me and maybe up front's getting a little slower, I just go right up and hit, and I just hope for the best. I wait so I don't kill the people in front of me, of course, but then that way I show them I'm not here to mess around. I'm just waiting to keep moving.
And just hit that one good shot then. Yeah. That's all you need.
If we get there.
Right, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out that pro tee thing at the bar now.
Oh, yeah.
That's tough.
That's
a
lot,
tough.
Yeah.
But right now, though, with the weather warmer, are you guys doing your season passes or season ticket?
We had our membership sale go on. We had a little discount before the end of the year, and that went really well. We sold a lot, but it's still, you can still come out and get one. We have a full membership for people 59 and under, and then a full membership for people 60 and over. And then the most popular one probably is our preferred pass, and that just gives you an access fee, a discounted access fee for 9 holes and 18 holes. So that's pretty popular. And then we also have the membership for the executive course, which is strictly just for the executive course.
That executive course is nice. I mean, you can't beat it. 9 holes and you're in and out and you can keep moving.
Yeah, you can get through that pretty quick. You know, if there's no one out there, you might even be able to do it in an hour like we were talking about.
The greens are challenging on that, though.
They've been doing a lot of work on them, and they're a little, they're surprising.
They are.
Yeah.
And it's not because I have any good putting form. I just use that as an excuse. With that being said, Ray, getting back into Rolling Hills, too, with this coming up, you guys have a beautiful banquet facility. You had a comedy night too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did that turn out pretty well?
That went pretty good. We had to switch the night, so that hurt us a little bit. The guy, we had a little snafu. He was doing another show.
Oh, shoot.
So that kind of messed it up a little bit, but it went good.
Are you going to do more of them?
We're gonna try different stuff like that. I know we're going to be doing a little live entertainment. We're going to have Billy Hurst out there real soon.
Oh, that'll be cool.
So yeah. So we're trying to bring that back in, and people are calling and reserving the room for different things this summer. I know we have 2 or 3 reunions, high school reunions that are going to be out there, and a couple celebrations of life.
Wow.
So it's a wide range of
that's cool.
activities or functions that we can host out there, which is great.
Can I get the dates on those so that way I'm not out in front of the driving range snapping clubs and cursing? You got a moment to stick around.
Oh, yeah.
9:46, we'll come back, talk with Ray a little bit more. It's 55 degrees, but it don't feel like it out there. Get the rowboat out because we're getting more rain in a few hours. We'll be back with more Daily Show right after this.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, Free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Brant Walker knows how to get results for Alton because he's done it. As Mayor Brant froze the property tax levy and balanced the budget, his economic development policy stimulated $116 million in private capital investment. Community policing and increased resources for public safety led to a decrease in crime. And under Brant Walker's leadership, Alton secured more than $10 million in extra grant funds for infrastructure and park improvements. Move Alton forward with Brant Walker.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. It's going to snow tomorrow, man.
That's what I heard this morning, yeah.
Did you golf in the snow? Have you ever done that?
I have. We, years ago, we do that New Year's Day tournament, and that is an all-weather event. So if it rains, if it snows, we played in it. And one year, when I played in it, we had probably 6 to 8 inches of snow, but then we had a layer of ice on top of it. So what they did, they went out and they just shoveled around the hole a little circle. They didn't get down to the green. There was still snow on there, but it had a little berm all the way around. So you had to get up over the berm to get into the circle.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. So, but then we had the tees pushed up. Everybody was hitting forward tees, but the ice on there, so when you hit your drive, it just kept on going, so you could see it rolling on top of the snow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And my uncle years ago, he used to, before they had colored balls, they would paint their balls and go out and play in the snow.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Did I see something about, it wasn't here, but maybe it was. Someone did a nighttime golf tournament before. Yeah. Was that here? Was that
I know
local?
I know they had one down there at Scott Air Force Base.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cardinal Creek down there, yeah. But I've had a few people ask me, they would, if I ever thought about doing something like that, and they said they'd be interested. So I've kind of toyed around with the idea of maybe doing it on the executive course and then taking the
Everyone has to sign a
fours.
waiver.
Yeah, they take 2 par 4s and make them par 3s, and bring your flashlights and
that'd be cool.
Put a bunch of glow sticks out there and the glow balls and everything.
I'm in.
Yeah, it'd be a good time.
I'm in.
So we might try it a little bit later on this summer.
Hell yeah! Let me know because I'm in. I'm totally getting a team.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. It'll be fun. It'll be different.
I like the fact that you're doing a bunch of different stuff out there, like having the bands coming in and having Billy, and then doing the open houses and doing some stuff with food. It's really bringing back that kind of community center that Rolling Hills was in a unique way for that group.
Yeah, and like I said, we call it Rolling Hills Golf Club because that's what we kind of want. It's a golf course, but we want to kind of make it like a club to where people come out. We're trying to get the lounge up and going, so we've added a little seating area there in the lounge and a couple extra TVs for all the sporting events and everything. So it's coming around slowly but surely.
Well, and too, it seems like with the weather warming up, the tournaments start, and it seems like people have been booking these things or trying to for like months before the. How often? How early do you see tournaments book out for you guys?
I started booking them in December.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So usually, and then mostly people that have them with us year round, when they have them, they immediately book for the next year. So I probably had maybe last year at the end of the season, October, I probably already had 6-7 tournaments on the books for 2025.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then we started a couple, like the New Year's Day, we brought that one back, and we're bringing back another one that they used to have out there. That's an in-house tournament, which is our St. Patty's Day tournament.
No kid, when's that going to be?
Which is March 15th, a week from this Saturday. So, and it's almost full. It's almost full. I got to check it out today when I get back out there because it's filling up. But it's a 4-man scramble, $80 a person, and food, your cart, golf, range balls, cash prizes. So it's going to be a good event. And they used to, they had that in the past, and they kind of let that go. So that's another one I'm bringing back.
Did I can't believe that we're almost at St. Pat. That is wild. When you said a week away, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
So, do you guys still do that parent-kid tournament?
No, they haven't done that for a while.
That
but
was
that's another
fun.
one that I was looking at bringing back. Yeah.
I got third place. I remember that. I got a little bag. I got a box of balls.
Yeah, right.
I remember that.
Yeah. Little stuff like that.
It's cool though. You remember those things, and it
stays with you. Yeah.
Well, and do you guys do help like private lessons or anything out there? Or?
Not right now.
Okay.
We're looking into it.
Yeah, not to put you on the spot, just because golfing's really becoming a youth sport again. I was, it's kind of interesting, just with like my soccer team and all that, and the kids that I was coaching, they're getting into golf, and it's really good to see that.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those things that popped in my head.
Yeah, I get that asked a lot, and we're currently looking for someone maybe to do something like that. We get a lot of young, right. They ask me if I do it. I'm like, well, I could teach you a little bit, but I'm probably not the best teacher.
I'd be like shoot that guy on Happy Gilmore. Good job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sitting down reading a magazine. But we got the driving range out there, so a lot of people come out there and just practice on the range. And we just opened that up yesterday with all the weather and everything. We finally got that open up, and it went really well. A lot of people are out there last night. In fact, I stuck around, had to pick up all the balls in the dark because I kind of forgot about it. And with the rain coming in, I wanted to get them all. So I think I probably got about 300-400 balls picked up last night.
No
so
kidding.
We had a lot of people out there yesterday hitting balls.
Well, it's a nice range.
It is, and it's good practice. You know, you go out there and just kind of work out everything, work out all the bad shots. And
sometimes it takes more than the range for that,
Right, yeah, you might need a bucket or two.
How much are a bucket of range balls?
We have a small, medium, and large, and it goes $4, $6, and $8. And then usually it's about 20, 40, 60 balls.
Do you have the range pass? Is that a thing?
No, we have the range pass if you get the preferred membership.
That's what going back to
that. Then that's you can buy it as an add-on for that. But standalone range pass, we kind of did away with that this year.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
We didn't sell a lot of them last year, and
it was a good idea. Yeah.
And most people are just going to come out and usually just hit a little bit,
Fair. I normally just go on top of the Riverbender building and just start shooting them off.
There you go.
That's just a joke in case the police are listening today.
Or somebody had a window broke somewhere.
Maybe. With that being said, is Zeke J. Bush a good golfer?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
North Alton Godfrey. I was making sure, just tying them back into this. I forgot to, this is the North Alton Godfrey Business Council segment, and being part of that, I keep trying to get Zeke to go golfing with me, but I don't want to get embarrassed because every time I invite someone out to golf, they're so much better than me.
Right.
And I can't deal with it. It's a personal problem, right?
Sounds like you need more practice.
It does. But, with that being said, what can we look forward to coming down the pipeline this next couple of weeks, this summer? Is there any other big kind of save the dates or look for in the calendar?
Just the St. Patty's Day tournament next Saturday, or a week from this Saturday. I think we're going to have some more events that we're working on now that we're going to probably announce at the end of the month, but our leagues are going to start up in April, so we got a lot of that going on.
Really cool.
And a lot of people coming back for that. So
who organizes your leagues? Is it just individually?
It's all individual people, yeah. I run the Johnson's Corner League out there, and right now I think we have probably about 10, 12 different leagues out there between the men and the women and the daytime and the evening time leagues.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good group of people.
Man, keep up the great work. This is exciting. You're doing a great job so far. Not patronizing. I mean, it's really cool.
It's fun. It's I like to tell everyone I got the best of both worlds. I got a golf course and I got a bar. To run out there and being in the bar business, from before. But also we're really bringing back the pro shop. We're bringing more merchandise in. We've got some putters and some wedges out there now. We have a bunch of new apparel coming in right now.
You know what I noticed the last time I was out? It's more affordable, it seems like, too, because I used to always go, but it used to be like, man, I'm taking a beating in this pro shop. And there's stuff for every budget really in there, too.
Yeah, and we've been getting our new selection of balls in, so we have a wide range of balls with a very wide range of price points, so we got the cheaper ones for you, and then we got the better ones for the people that want to spend maybe $60 on a dozen.
Yeah, really cool.
And those are the ones you look for a long time when you lose them.
I have a side. I was getting ready to say I also sell golf balls. They are the nice ones. I go and look in the ponds in the evening times.
Oh, yeah.
I know people that used to do that though during.
And now's the time to go out there and look in the bushes because they're all bare, so you can see a lot of them now. So yeah.
Actually, I might have to schedule a round of golf soon. Ray, it's always good talking to you, man. What's the website or best way to stay up to date with Rolling Hills?
You can check us out on our website, rollinghillsgc.com, or on Facebook.
Awesome. We'll link everything in an article on RiverBender.com, and we'll see you out there on the golf course. And if I'm out there, you just better duck. 9:58, a little bit of change. More Daily Show, top of the hour news.
Hey, would you drop by the pharmacy? My doctor switched my cholesterol medication.
Yeah, will do, honey. I'm glad he's looking out for you.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including managing chronic conditions. Schedule an appointment today.
What are you doing? We did our home insurance ourselves, but don't feel protected.
So you're building your own American Family Insurance roof line?
Yeah, life's better when you're protected under American Family's roof.
That's not how it works.
Dad, we'll go. It's gonna hit.
See, that's how it works.
For real protection, save up to 23% by bundling your home and auto with us.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. Daily Show. Hit me in the nose. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I do this all the time. Corinne.
Yes.
Oh my God, I was so nervous. That's why I just said hello
it's a
earlier.
Tough name.
It's really not. I don't think so. I think it's a CJ problem. Did it happen quite a bit?
It does.
Oh.
So you're not the only one.
That makes me feel better. Hey, how was your ice jam at the dam?
It was great.
Was it
honestly.
really?
Yeah, we had, I want to say, close to 800 folks that came out, and it was not ideal weather.
Are
so
you
that was
serious?
amazing.
Wow. Did
I know.
moving it inside help?
I believe so, yes. It was mostly indoors with our activities that we held in all of our different partner and education stations. We still provided the outdoor dam tours, though, and those were really well attended, despite the temperature. And,
I bet that would have been cool, though.
Yeah, the river was still kind of icy and frozen, so it did meet the theme with the ice jam, I think. It was a good time.
Really cool. Well, before we kind of dive into the heart of the matter here, which we might do, I want to talk about some of the things coming down the pipeline because we might as well while we're here. It's a busy couple of months for y'all.
Yeah, so we have a very busy spring on the calendar with lots of fun things for the folks, the public to attend and get involved with.
So, take me through it. What's the first one you guys have coming up?
The biggest thing personally that I am working to coordinate and organize is our Leave No Trace Spotlight for the Riverlands Migratory Bird Sanctuary. That is happening in early April. I believe the 11th and 12th, Friday and Saturday, are the public events.
Really cool. And now what's this one all about?
Yes, so the Leave No Trace is a national spotlight program that is only awarded to a select few areas throughout the country, and Riverlands was nominated and selected as a site, which is super exciting. So the traveling teams from Leave No Trace and Subaru come out to our area to promote the Leave No Trace principles and to get folks more involved with that type of outreach and education within the community. So the Friday is going to be super fun, a trivia night at Old Bakery.
Oh, cool.
So I'm very pumped for that. It's all Leave No Trace.
They're a great partner. They really are a great partner.
Amazing. Great food, too.
That's a good point. And how can we register now for this?
It actually doesn't require registration. It is just a come as you go, like come grab dinner and a beverage. And the trivia itself, you do need a smartphone for. You'll just I think, scan a QR code when you get there, and then it's all Riverlands and Leave No Trace trivia.
Cool.
So you just kind of play, have your meal, win some cool prizes, like really cool prizes. I don't know if I can say yet, but really cool prizes.
I'm going to get there. Well, you're coming back on the show to talk about this.
Yes, I am. So I'll elaborate more at that point.
Well, it's really cool, though, to see all the collaborations that you guys take part in, from community and and organization-wise, but also just on the commercial side of things, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is, right now, your guys' focus as the weather starts to turn over? Is there things that you guys are kind of monitoring, the group's monitoring as a whole, or any projects or things that are getting ready to take place?
Yeah, we're really gearing up for the recreation season in general as spring comes, and April is Earth Month, so that becomes like a big focus for different like Earth Day activities and stewardship. That's also kind of where like the Leave No Trace comes into play in April with it being Earth Month. Actually, at the dam itself, we're finishing up the gate replacement on the main gate for the lock chamber. So that should be completed within the next several months. So the recreation should open back up.
That's
time
big
to come
news.
by for a tour. Yeah.
How long does that process take?
They began in December, so they plan it out to have lessened impacts for navigation. So our winter, it's very slow on the river, so they actually utilize that time to work. And they've been working since December, and they're supposed to be wrapped up sometime around April.
That's really cool.
To completely replace. It's really awesome.
That has to be a fun project to watch, too.
Yeah, they like bring concrete trucks in and pour the concretes. There's some stop logs, so temporary damming structures that are out in the middle of the lock chamber to give them a work zone, which is like really cool to see the floating crane moving the concrete, them pouring it, them working every day. It's been a really lively, active like time to come like see. And we still are giving tours, so you can get like a little peek of it while they're working.
That's awesome. And can you question? This is a kind of a silly question. Not really. Maybe I don't know. I'm just gonna ask it. So can can you take photos of the progress? Like, is there like a flying issue? Like if like drone coverage over that, or because
these are great questions.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm glad. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Common question. So drones unfortunately cannot be flown on federal land. That is something that requires a permit. And then for our tours, folks are welcome to take any kind of photography, especially like iPhone or like smartphone photography. Although we do have a lens restriction. You can't have the very large like telescoping lenses that like all of the birders get really beautiful photos with. Those are not allowed, but like regular photos, A-okay.
Perfect. Really cool. Well, we are kind of waiting to see if Craig's going to join us today because there was some really great recognition, and I know Craig's going to fill us in on it, but if you could tease us before we go to a break and see if Craig's coming in, what was the Mississippi River Water Trail recognized for?
They received a really great award from the National U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They've been recognized as one of the most exemplary partners in the nation. So it's the Excellence in Partnership Award that only one organization gets throughout the entire country for the entire year.
That's incredible. Well, and they really are a good partner just from hearing some of the things they do with the cleanups and just really the documenting of so many, docking points and camping points along the river too.
Yeah, absolutely. They can more easily hit this recreation piece because of how the Rivers Project is kind of situated. We operate 300 miles of the Mississippi River, which is a very large footprint.
I say that ain't no chump of change right there.
80 miles of the lower Illinois. So we've got a very large stretch, and the river recreation piece is sometimes not as easily accessible for as many folks along that stretch, especially for us in our footprint. It's very difficult for us to get up to some of these areas 300 miles upstream to check on a campsite that's on the river in an island. So they have just been an absolute treasure of a partner to be able to provide the recreational kind of impact and better connect folks to their natural resources.
100%. Well, we'll do this. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and see if Craig's waiting for us somewhere, and we'll keep this conversation going. How about that? Hey, we figured it out. 10:20, a little bit of change, more Daily Show next.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary. Come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Shut the door, baby. Shut the door, baby.
Welcome back, Daily Show. I'm always getting logged out of stuff, you know, and then I gotta take. Have you ever had that with the work email and stuff? You just get logged out all the time. Then I don't save my password, so I gotta type everything back in.
That's probably better, though.
First world problems.
Truly.
So, coming up, the Mississippi River Water Trail will be working with you all yet again on this upcoming event.
Yes. So back to the Leave No Trace Spotlight, we have that Friday's the trivia, but then Saturday, April 12th, is a really cool volunteering and stewardship opportunity. So it is the Confluence Trash Bash, which Riverlands is a part of. That's as cool. A site. We have 3 different cleanups that we're offering that day for folks to potentially come out and get involved with. And the Water Trail is actually doing a water cleanup via kayak.
How does that work? That's got to be really kind of exciting, too. Yeah, it's going to
be really cool. Which they do this often, too. Another reason why they're just an absolutely great partner is part of their stewardship component. Mm-hmm. But they'll go out and they'll help clean up the shoreline along Ellis Bay, which is right outside the Audubon Center and on the Riverlands Migratory Bird Sanctuary. So they will go out via kayak or canoe, if that is an option that you would like, and actually do some cleaning up of like the shoreline as well as some of like the actual litter that might be in the water itself. And there is a potential to kind of get out along the main channel on the the Missouri side of Ellis Island as well, potentially, if there's enough time for that.
That's really cool. Mm-hmm. So how do we have to register in advance for that?
You do. So I believe that it is both on at least our Facebook page as well as their website as well. But it's just a simple registration. You don't have to be like an expert kayaker. They are open to various levels. If
that
you're
was kind of my question here, because I don't know. I would probably rate myself in the negative category.
When you get to paddling with the water trail, like you're in great hands. I had never kayaked before, and they trained me. They put me out on the Mississippi River. It was amazing.
Really?
Yes.
That's actually a really good testament, too. Awesome. And, too, they do the training classes coming up, the really intensive ones.
Yes, there's a couple skills clinics, I believe, they have scheduled. And then that's a really great way to learn if you're wanting to, like, get more comfortable in a sea kayak or a sit-in kayak. That's kind of the specialty for what you use on the Mississippi River, not one of the sit-on-top kayaks. So you're, like, actually in the boat. Which is really a great way to connect with the water.
And is that where your legs are kind of more... Oh, okay, I get you. Gotcha.
Yes. Your legs are underneath like you're wearing your kayak.
Yeah, that's really wild to me, too, because I've never been in one of those.
Oh, I love them. They're a much better way to, I think, connect with nature, and then, like, especially on big rivers and large lakes,
sure.
That's what you'll utilize to really meet your safety needs is one of those sea kayaks.
That's awesome. Now, with Leave No Trace, let's get back to that. What date is that on again?
The cleanup is on April 12th, the Saturday.
Is that Earth Day?
A couple weeks beforehand, but a part of Earth Month.
Oh,
so.
there we go. Hey, there's still a tie-in here.
Absolutely.
So there's the cleanup, and then registration again is on the Facebook page?
You can get there from our Facebook page currently, as well as Open Space. Open Space is kind of the main hub for registering. The cleanup is one of the 3 different sites, and that's in the morning. I believe it's from 8:30 to around 11:30. And then we're actually having a really cool picnic, free lunch that Open Space is providing, hot dogs, and then a kind of mini festival that is providing different educational opportunities with a lot of other really cool partners.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, see, I like the educational component of it too, because you're always teaching all ages truly about the importance of our ecosystem.
Mm-hmm. Those leave no trace principles, they stay with you throughout your life, as well as the water recreation component and the stewardship component. Those are things you can do.
Oh, I think we messed up. I think the elevator broke down. Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
10:28. But Corinne, thank you so much for stopping by. It's always great to talk with you, and always great to learn more about all the great stuff. And when just a little bit of a scheduling problem, but I'm really glad to know that the Mississippi River Water Trail gained that national recognition.
Absolutely.
And really saw just how important their efforts are, because they truly do a lot for the
They really
the
do.
region.
They provide so much support for us, and they truly are the partner of the year.
Truly. And with that being said, we'll talk again in a few weeks.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Hey, we'll take a quick break at 10:30. We have Mayor Mike McCormick joining us in just a few short minutes over there. You stay there. We'll stay here in the studio on RiverBender.com.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
Get paid to go solar.
We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I said, hey, Carmen, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend is sticking around. Take the load off.
I'm something. Mayor Mike McCormick joins us in the studio. We are getting closer and closer to April the 1st, Mayor.
Bring it on. I can't wait.
I bet.
I can't wait to win or lose. Hopefully I'm going to win, but I just want the thing over.
Well, and you know what? It's one of those, I couldn't imagine, all the work that is done, campaigning, let people know that you are running again, all the work. And then on top of it, village business continues too.
Exactly. It's been very hectic, but we're taking care of the residents of the village, but we're also running a campaign. I'm very fortunate to have a campaign manager that is doing the heavy work on my campaign.
Oh, for sure.
My big job is writing checks.
Well, right now as it sits, we're a few weeks away from the consolidated election, and you've had a chance to meet with various, constituents, various voters, public figures. What are their thoughts on just the state of the village?
Oh, you could ask 95, 96, 97% of the residents of the village of Godfrey, and they're happy. They love it. That's why they live here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are moving here. I have a granddaughter that was living over outside of Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
She just recently moved back to Godfrey. I have a granddaughter who's a teacher up in Carrollton. She chose to live in Godfrey. And just by the building permits going out and the zone, we inspect a house before it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Young people are coming to Godfrey, and I think a lot of that has to do with our parks.
Mm-hmm.
Like last year in our soccer program, which you're involved in soccer.
Yep.
We had right at 1,000 kids.
Wow.
And that is wow.
It really is, because just on the soccer side of things, when Charlie was still alive and doing the Alton Park and Rec over there years ago, it was kind of a flip where it was he had about 1,400 participants at one point in time, and now I've just kind of seen that where the program really is growing over there in Godfrey, and Mr. Logan's done a good job of that. Yes, it seems like. With that, what are going into? Let's just talk about parks and Glazebrook a little bit. What are you most proud of when it comes to the park and recreation side of your administration?
Just the way Stamper Lane looks now. When I first became mayor, we had the ball diamonds, which they referred to them as the Quarry League diamonds, which were on the west side of Stamper, right when you first get out of Stamper.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go down to the main entrance of the original part of Glazebrook Park, and there was a soccer field there, a grass soccer field. Then there was the card maze.
Mm-hmm.
The card maze is still there. The soccer field is still there, but it's turf.
Right.
It's turf. In fact, the night I asked the board that I wanted to pursue it, after that meeting, a male trustee came up and hugged me, which shocked me. But anyway, that's the turf soccer field. Then move it up a little bit farther, you got pickleball courts.
Mm-hmm. Man, that took over quick.
Oh, I mean, we put additions onto that, wind screens, added lights.
It's pretty souped up over there.
It's pretty hot. Then you go a little bit farther. You got the ball diamonds. We got 4 ice ball diamonds there. In fact, we're going to host a couple tournaments there this summer. And
wow.
Yes. And then you want to go a little bit east of the ball diamonds. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., we're having a groundbreaking for a dog park.
That's right. And what are your thoughts on the dog park?
All I know is since I've been mayor, people have come to our park board meetings wanting dog parks. Then, I don't know, about 4 months ago, an anonymous donor came to me and said she would like to help pay for a dog park.
Oh.
So we did some research. And she taught me a little bit about dog parks, because every time we talked about it before, back when Torp Woods was here, they were worried about the odor.
Mm-hmm.
And she says that it's not that way. It's not as bad as people think. So if you got turf down there, you might have some odor. And so it'll have we haven't decided how we're going to have access to it with a key or a code or whatever. We go along those routes. But we're going to sell memberships very cheap, maybe $25 a year. But the main thing there is people got to prove to us their dogs have their shots.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that to be open sometime this April. But we're having the groundbreaking this Friday.
And, you've been a part of quite a few groundbreakings in your time in office. And just before we go any bit further into some of the things that are on voters' minds, what is the groundbreaking that you are the most proud of? If you could pinpoint a project, I know there's so many of them. It's kind of a softball without being one, but is there one project that you hold higher over or are most proud of?
Not park-wise. I think one thing I'm kind of proud of is the memorial signs you see for Blake Snyder, Jake Riggering, Fort Williams. I was instrumental. I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I got those things done. And those are three people I think people should always remember. And just yesterday, it was a 6-year anniversary of Jake Riggering, and they had a service out at the firehouse, and I went to it. It was pretty neat. All the firefighters lined up. There's firefighters from other fire departments. Alton was there. They all line up. They lower the flag to half-mast in a moment of silence. Then they salute for about a minute, then they raise it back up. It was pretty emotional and pretty cool.
I'm sure it was. And as we get further into this conversation, one of the things that I've seen a lot of on your campaign material was the property tax point of it. And I do want to ask you about this because property tax is becoming a point of, I don't want to say a campaign point in the Alton side or Wood River side, but we're hearing more and more about this property tax issue for local families. And this is something that you've been touting.
This is something I'm very, very proud of. I've always made the motion in our meetings to lower it. I've only been able to do that 7 times.
Wow.
Because you got to have the vote of the trustees. But since I've been mayor, we've actually lowered the tax levy. Most people, believe it or not, CJ, thinks their property tax bill comes to the village of Godfrey. It does not come to the village of Godfrey. Right now, less than 2% of that total people pay. I'll give you an example. If you pay about $3,200 in property tax, Godfrey gets about $60. And we're still financially sound. So my point here is you don't have to overtax the residents. And we're paying our bills, we're expanding our parks, we're fixing our roads. Since I've been mayor, we've taken 70 old chip roads and turned them into asphalt roads.
Wow.
And that's very expensive, but we're doing it, and it's because we have a good team out there, and Godfrey's looking better and getting better.
And I wanted to ask, before we take a quick break, I think that's a great follow-up too, is, sometimes when we hear about projects and we hear about improvements around the Riverbend region, the comment on cost comes into play so many times. Who do you credit in your administration or yourself or your team at large for, helping secure whatever funding is needed? How are you able to fund those projects?
When I first became mayor, we really didn't have a full-time mayor. We contract. We didn't have a full engineer is what I meant to say.
Okay.
Yeah, we contracted out engineers. We had 3 or 4 that were in that position, and I would work very hard with these people to get these STP grants from the federal government, and that lasted for about 8 years. Then we had a full-time engineer, which is Richard Barron's, and from that point forward, he's the one that applies for all these grants.
Wow.
And he also applies for grants for the parks, he applies for grants for the roads, and we've been very fortunate to win a lot of grants by putting in the right documents and you can see what's going on, because your taxes aren't going up, but your community's getting better.
And on top of that, I wanted, before we take that pause, let's talk about Peachy Paws real quick, which was just discussed last night. What are your thoughts for that business now with that new addition on Delmar?
Well, I think they're taking a derelict piece of property that they're going to put $500,000 into it, and I feel well assured there won't be a noise problem. There won't be a odor problem. It's going to be run very professionally, and I think it's a sign of growth in the village of Godfrey, of good kind of growth. Because I know people that take their dogs as far as Maryville for doggy daycare.
It's true. That is true.
And so I think it's a good addition to the village of Godfrey. I know that the people that live close to it, some of them are against it, but the actual next door neighbor spoke in favor of it. And so I know the trustees had a tough time deciding how to vote, but I sincerely believe that we've done the right thing here. Even though there was an hour's worth of discussion on the issue, flip-flopping back and forth, and finally when we took the vote, it passed. Everybody voted in favor of it.
Was that one of the longest discussion periods you've seen in a while?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you have a moment to stick around?
Sure.
We'll take a quick break. I got to pay a quick bill. 10:44, a little bit of change. We're coming back with the Mayor of Godfrey, Mike McCormick, as part of our candidate spotlight ahead of the consolidated election right after this on Riverbender.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
What they try to say, you were always there for me.
Welcome back, 10:49. A little bit of change on this Thursday morning. I forgot what day of the week it was when I started the show today. And, as we're getting back into this conversation, one of the bigger topics, I think, of Godfrey a couple of years ago, and now not as much, but still there, is the roundabout that's coming in. And I feel like it's important to talk about that because that is a top concern for some. What are your thoughts on this roundabout project? You came on the show 2 years ago and had a more than an almost 45-minute conversation about this, if I remember correctly.
Well, it's a great song by Yes, which people played for me just to stir me up. There's people out there trying to blame me for the roundabouts. Back in 2009, I did write a letter in favor of the roundabouts. That was after somebody from IDOT approached me, because we see this as being a good plan, something that would help your community. Mm-hmm. And I did write a letter of support. There's no doubt about that. And as I travel the country, and there's lots of roundabouts out there, they keep building them because they work. And what sold me on the roundabouts is the safety factor. There's less wrecks, and when they do have a wreck, there's no T-boning there. And it's a safety factor, and they keep building them because they work. And it's an IDOT project, and IDOT's spending a lot of money in our community, and I'd rather see them spend it in our community than a suburb of Chicago. And my stepdaughter works there at the dental office, mm-hmm. and she says, even though there's not a lot of police reports made on them, but there's lots of wrecks there right now. And especially when the schools are letting out, there's a line backed up from the stoplights, and that'll help the flow of that. And when they first announced the roundabout and had the meeting, they said they were going to completely close it. And the next morning, I was at Amy Elick's office. We got C.D. Davidsmeyer involved. We got Senator Harris involved. And within 4 days, IDOT had changed their plans. They're not going to close. Traffic will continue to flow through that area with hardly any
really
problems. Yes.
See, I didn't realize I didn't realize that secondary component. So the road's not going to be completely closed.
No.
Wow. Now, does that? I'm assuming would extend construction time a bit.
That was the trade-off.
Okay. Well, and it's a great kind of notion just for the public to know about too, in case they didn't know about that, or just for any thoughts they might have on that roundabout issue. One of the things that I wanted to ask you about was going back to the pandemic. And, the pandemic affected so many small towns across America and really affected them badly. One of the things that I want to know more about is this voucher program, because I wasn't here in local media when this happened. I was in St. Louis, but read about it. What was the idea for the voucher program? What was the cost of that? Was that ARPA money? And what was really the mission behind that?
It was actually business district money.
Okay.
And Jim Baker, our economic development director, and I were bouncing back, trying to figure out a way to help our local businesses. And WBGZ has this voucher thing where, you can call in, pay $10, and get a $20 gift card for somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, why can't we do that? Let's see. So we went to the Big Z, said, would you handle this for us?
Mm-hmm.
So this helped the residents and it helped the businesses. They called in and said, I want a $20 gift card for Roper's or Ranch House or Josephine's. And they got a $20, it cost them $10. The $10 went to the business. They had a $20 gift card that they would go to the business. So just the other day at the ranch house, I had a donut and coffee thing, and Mary Matthews, who's one of the owners of the ranch house, started talking about the program. And while she was talking, she started tearing up. Her actual quotes were, I was able to hire people back, and it helped us make it through the pandemic. And I've heard the same words from Jeff Carver. I've heard the same. In fact, when I took a $5,000 check to Sherry Whitworth, who owns Josephine's, she cried. Very emotional to me.
Well, and that's what I'm curious to know, too. And this isn't, a gotcha thing or anything like that, but you were a small business owner.
Yes, I was.
And what are your thoughts about, young people starting businesses? What are your thoughts of what the village could do to get more support for those businesses, just like during the pandemic?
Well, we have stuff that we can help businesses with to a certain extent.
Okay.
And to me, that's the problem. People say, we need a Chick-fil-A, we need this. Well, first of all, that business is going to want to come to the Village of Godfrey. And most of those businesses are franchises.
Yep.
And just like myself, when I worked at McDonnell Douglas, I just got tired of working for a corporation. I thought, let's throw the dice, and I opened up Ebo's. And probably the smartest thing I've ever did in my life, except get elected mayor for Godfrey.
That's a good answer. I'll give you that. That's a pretty good answer. Well, and that's what, going back into this, and you mentioned your granddaughters moving back into town, and is young families a goal of yours to increase the young amount of
yes.
the number of young families
That's
in
the
there?
future.
And I wanted to go into that a little bit further, too, because there's a couple of other programs that the village has, too, like the Good Neighbor program and some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start there. Fill us in for the folks that aren't aware about the Good Neighbor program. I'm curious to know more.
This got started. I can't take credit for this. Trustee Sarah Woodman came up with the idea. It was all about a gentleman she noticed always walking on piers, sometimes on Stamper.
Picking up the trash.
Picking up trash.
Yep.
And that was the first one. So then we opened up the doors to, please, if anybody can nominate anybody to be a good neighbor. And it has wound up, we've almost had one almost every month since this program started. And we've even honored a dog.
No way. What did the dog do?
It was trained to be a service dog, and they would go to the hospitals and just go visit patients in nursing homes and hospitals, and the dog would cuddle up, which was
wow.
I think that was pretty nice.
How important is taking some time and working with the trustees on programs like that to recognize the community members too?
Well, that was easy. I mean, nobody'd be against that.
I'd hope not.
Now.
And another thing too, what I thought was really unique is seeing the growth of this Woodman Trail.
Oh.
Because my parents live off of Breck Lane, and I grew up walking La Vista Park all the way down to the bluffs and hiking them as a kid and having numerous airsoft gunfights in there and all you could do.
Climbing up to the cross?
Yep, all the time. Where do you see the growth of a Woodman Trail going, and what's your thoughts for the public on this project?
Well, have you been on it?
I can say I've not been on it yet.
I haven't walked it, but I took a golf cart on it, and it is beautiful. What part that we got completed, which is about 2/3 of it, and the most expensive part of it, because you get back there, there's hills, and it's just beautiful. And then the next section will be from Rocky Fork Church over to Pierce Lane, then up Pierce Lane to Glazebrook Park. And what I was trying to sell is to get the grant money to do it. I was saying you could get on a bike at Lewis and Clark Community College and ride all the way to SIUE. And because of all of the nice bike paths they have over that way along the river, and that's what it's all about. And once again, having a nice bike path, a nice walking path, getting people to our community. People that live in River Air now can walk all the way down to the river and not worry about, being hit by a car. It's getting a lot of use from what I understand.
Well, and with that being said, too, what is your most, in terms of these projects, in terms of the developments like the Woodman Trail of Glazebrook expansion, is when it comes to just infrastructure projects like that, what is your goal to expand on those? Are you good with where you are now?
No, you got to keep expanding. Yeah. And we're working on getting the grants for the next section, and which we will get them, because once again, going back to Richard Barron's, he puts together really good proposals, and you got to have the state money, you got to have the federal money, and we also get money from the county too. And I think the connections I have at the county are very important for the village of Godfrey, and the connections I have at the state. We mentioned earlier about the roundabouts. I mean, the next day, I had C.D. Davidsmeyer, Amy Ely, and Senator Harris in the same office that quick, because I know them all.
Right. Well, and that's a good point. And I, and not in a point of agreement, but in a point of you have to have those connections, because you got to know who you're going to call if something happens.
Exactly.
And you provided me something, and we'll make sure to include this, that this is about taxing bodies within the district, within the village. And Alton Community School District takes the biggest portion of that, but looking at this, and it's by a lot. The village of Godfrey is actually the lowest taxing body within this entire diagram. And when we talk about the taxing bodies too, because I know people open that bill up and they kind of roll their eyes when they see some of these taxing districts. What would you like people to know the most about their taxes when it refers to the village, and also maybe some of the other items that might be on that statement at the end of the year?
Well, a lot of people, like I mentioned earlier, think when they pay their property tax, it all comes to the Village of Godfrey. No, it doesn't. And I mentioned before, less than 2% comes to the Village of Godfrey.
Mm-hmm.
And when you compare it with every other community in Madison County, the Village of Godfrey has the lowest tax levy by quite a bit compared to a lot of communities.
And what do you attribute that to?
I don't like taking credit, but my continue pushing to reduce the taxes. Like I said earlier, I had enough votes to reduce it 7 times. And the other times, they keep it flat. But since there's some growth in Godfrey, that spreads it out a little bit.
Gotcha.
So actually, people's property, even we keep the levy flat, still it goes down a little bit.
And as we're wrapping up this, because you're coming back on in a couple of weeks, and we'll come back and we'll go into an in-depth on taxes, because I think that's a really big thing for so many people. Is, you know, the bottom line is the biggest, I think, issue when it comes to potential voters. I wanted to ask you about a few more projects just really quickly. And
Sure.
I don't know if the building process started the first time you were elected with the car wash, but it's done now. What are your thoughts on this car wash?
I think it took, 3.5 years? Yeah. But I did get a free car wash there Saturday.
Did you?
They were. My wife said that, I don't know, she saw it on Facebook or something, which I don't do Facebook. Saw it on Facebook and said they're training their staff, they're giving free car washes. So I went up there and got a car wash. Jared Hansen is the guy that owns it. I'm a friend of his, and I tease him a little bit, but it took forever. But they ran into a lot of problems, and they had to change their plans 4 or 5 times, but it was a joke in our community. There's no doubt about it. Is the firehouse going to get done, or is the car wash going to get done? You know, is BJC's new building going to get done, or is the firehouse, or is the car wash going to get done?
You're right.
I mean,
I actually did a segment on what was built quicker before, like Dave Letterman. Suez Canal was my number one answer. But jokes aside, I really just wanted to bring that up because, you know, people were a little concerned, but it is built now. Yeah. And do you see that becoming a traffic issue at all next to that quick trip?
They guarantee me it shouldn't be.
Okay.
And time will tell on that.
And before I let you go for right now and come back and talk with you in a few weeks, I wanted to ask you actually about 2 more things. And one of them was on this. You recently voted you opposed the pay raise for the mayor.
I opposed the pay raise, and I refused to sign the ordinance, even though it took effect 10 days after. That's how it works. But I would not sign that ordinance. I fought against it. One term I refused to take a raise, which then I got in trouble with the attorneys. So, but I think whoever's the mayor of the Village of Godfrey should do it for the good of the Village of Godfrey, not to get a good big paycheck.
And one final question for you, Mayor, just for the time being, is on your street department. You know, during the 8 inches of snow that we encountered a few weeks ago, the ice and everything else, it really seemed like, you know, your department was moving as quickly as they could. I wanted to ask you, though, what do you think makes your street department effective? And if you could grade it, what would you grade your street department?
On a 1 to 10?
Mm-hmm.
10.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with Jim Lewis, my director of maintenance.
Okay.
And the man, when we have a snowstorm, he sets his alarm and wakes up every hour or so just to check to see if it's snowing. And a lot of times when we're 100% sure, we call them in before the storm and pre-treat. And I don't want to downplay other communities, but whenever we have a big snowfall, you could tell a difference when you leave Godfrey.
What are you most proud of your street department?
Since I've been mayor, there hasn't been one time when we had a snow issue that any of our people didn't respond.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. And that and the fact since I've been mayor, we've invested in some equipment, and we're able now, like I mentioned earlier, switching so many streets from tar and chip to asphalt. That's through the public works, yes.
And before I let you go, what's your final thought just for the your constituents out there, the voters of the village of Godfrey, before I say goodbye for you for now and talk with you again in a couple of days?
Well, my line I've picked up, and I use it quite frequently, why switch quarterbacks when you're winning?
Mayor McCormick, thank you so much for your time. We're out of time today, but I will see you back here live at 9 for more of our daily show tomorrow. So join me then, won't you? Until then, one rule, one ask, one question, one statement. Try your best to stay out of jail.